And that then puts the entire region in jeopardy.
Yeah, and day one, when Trump gets to be president, Putin's going to knock all this crap off. The world's going to fall into place pretty quickly. We'll get a deal in Ukraine that's an honorable deal that will not entice China to invade Taiwan. I don't want to humiliate Putin, but I don't want to create another war by doing a bad deal. Donald Trump knows how to end wars. All Joe Biden knows how to do is start wars.
Donald Trump is now publicly panicking because even though Democrats lost the 2024 election, he's afraid that they're about to do to the federal courts what Trump and Republicans did to the federal courts after Trump and Republicans lost the 2020 election, and now Republicans are scrambling because apparently turnabout isn't fair play. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we do have a couple of clips to look at in this video, but this is one of the silver linings. This is one of the small victories that I mentioned in the aftermath of the 2024 election that we have to cling to because it shows Republican fear and hypocrisy and displays Democratic ruthlessness. This is good. So let's get to Trump. Trump, this isn't the first time he's talked about it, but he's really doubling down on this. He said, on Truth Social, the Democrats are trying to stack the courts with radical left judges on their way out the door. Republican senators need to show up and hold the line. No more judges confirmed before Inauguration Day. So as Sahil Kapoor talks about, Trump is telling Republican senators to block Democrats from confirming judges in the lame duck session, lame duck. Because even though Trump won and Republicans won, they don't have the majorities yet. Trump is not president. He won't be until January 20th, the 1 p.m. So President Biden is still in charge, and Senate Democrats are still in the majority until January 3rd, when Republicans take the majority in the Senate, which means President Biden's judicial nominees for the federal courts, in theory, they can be confirmed if Democrats turn up and vote for them, because again, they have the majority, and Trump is panicking about this. Oh my God, they're gonna fill these judicial vacancies that I want to cram. That Mitch McConnell wants to cram that. The Republicans want to cram with young radical conservatives. This isn't fair. No, stop them. So Trump tells Republican senators to block Democrats from confirming judges in the lame duck session, which Republicans don't have the power to do. Democrats can confirm judges with a simple majority and plan to do so just as Republicans confirmed Trump-picked judges in the 2020 lame Doug after he lost. You see how turnabout is not fair play for the Republicans. No, only we can, ruthlessly exploit loopholes, if that's what we're going to call it, like the lame duck. Only we can do that. You can't do that. Lindsey Graham also went on Fox News to whine about this and say, listen, if Republican senators show up, maybe we can peel away, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, who caucus with the Democrats, and maybe we can block President Biden's nominees.
How do you stop Chuck Schumer from pushing through these radical
votes,
nominees?
I'm not good at math, but I do know this. They have a 2-seat majority between now and January the 6th. If I can get 2 Democrats to vote against a Biden nominee and we all show up, we win. I'm telling the audience tonight, there are a handful of Democratic judicial nominees that 2 Democrats or more will vote against, but we all got to show up. I tend to vote for presidential picks, but the people being chosen now are the worst of the bunch. I voted against all of them. I have a couple of Democrats who agree with me that these people are too radical. The way we beat them is for every Republican to show up and pick up 2 Democrats. That means we got to show up.
What 2 Democrats are you thinking about? Because I can't think of one Democrat that is reasonable.
The same 2 that saved the Senate filibuster. The same 2 that have worked with us tirelessly on occasion. Sinema and Manchin. Yeah, right.
They're still there.
We can beat a few of these radical judges. We got to show up.
So some people interpreted this as a shot at incoming Vice President J.D. Vance, who's only been in the Senate for 2 years and who hasn't taken his job particularly seriously. He was not in attendance. He did not vote on this. He said he was interviewing FBI directors or potential FBI directors, and I'm terrified. One of them is going to be Kash Patel, this video we discussed previously. And he was like, hey, listen, what's it matter if we lose, 4, 9, 4, 6, or 4, 9, 4, 7. Who cares? We're going to lose. Biden's going to get these through. So some people have interpreted this as some schismatic internal fighting in the GOP, which I'm all for. Please, more of that. ABC has talked about this as well. Trump calls for halting conference of Biden's judicial nominees until Inauguration Day. The directive from the president-elect comes as Senate Democrats are expected to dedicate hours of floor time in the coming weeks as part of a last-minute effort to confirm as many of President Biden's nominees before Trump takes over in January. Senate Republicans thwarted their efforts late Monday night, a plan from their soon-to-be leader Senator John Thune and a reversal from his previous stance on blocking QU confirmations of qualified judicial nominees. Senate Republicans rebelled late Monday night, dragging out the floor process by forcing Democrats to hold time-consuming votes on procedural motions that are usually routine and otherwise mundane actions that should have taken minutes on the floor instead took hours. Thune, who takes over as the Republican leader of the Senate in January, took credit for the rebellion, saying in a statement that Republicans would not, quote, roll over to appoint Biden's nominees to the federal bench, quote, in the final weeks of the Democratic majority, quote. If Senator Schumer thought Senate Republicans would just roll over and allow him to quickly confirm multiple Biden-appointed judges to lifetime jobs in the final week of the Democratic majority, he thought wrong, said in a statement to ABC News. Thune's statement vowing to obstruct the judicial confirmation process in the final hours of the Biden presidency is a departure from comments he made just a few years ago towards the end of Trump's administration at the time. These touted the importance of confirming judges to the bench, saying it was, quote, one of our most important responsibilities as senators, and one of the main reasons he ran for Senate. Confirming good judges is one of our most important responsibilities as senators, and it's a responsibility I take very seriously, Thune said during a floor speech on November 18th, 2020. After President Biden won the election, quote, after George W. Bush's election, Democrats decided the president's judicial nominees might not deliver the results Democrats wanted, and so they decided to adopt a new strategy, blocking judicial nominees on a regular basis. Thune said during his remarks in 2020, quote, I was one of the many Americans upset by the blockade of talented, well-qualified nominees, and it was one of the main reasons I ran for the Senate. I promised out to Coden that if they elected me, I would help put outstanding judges to the bench. In fact, one of the main reasons I was first elected to the Senate was to make sure outstanding judicial nominees were confirmed to the federal bench. It's hard to imagine now, but confirming judges used to be a pretty bipartisan affair. Dunn said at the time his comments from 2020 are a notable reversal from his comments this week as Senate Republicans look to obstruct Democrats as they attempt to do the same for Biden. Chuck Schumer, who again is the current Democratic Senate Majority Leader, doubled down on his efforts Tuesday and said he expects the Senate to work late into the night again this Wednesday to get the nominees through. Senate Democrats are hoping to confirm as many judges to lifetime appointments as they can while Biden is still president. Quote, members should be prepared for another late night Wednesday to vote on nominations I filed last night. Schumer warned, quote, voting on the president's judicial nominees is a core function of the Senate. One of our basic responsibilities is when we're going to carry out that responsibility. As long as this majority continues, I'm very proud of the judges we've confirmed over the past years under this administration. They've all been highly qualified individuals, and together they represent a wide range of experiences and areas of expertise. Schumer touted the quality of judges the Senate has passed under his leadership. Noting their many backgrounds and cultures and identities, he said, under his watch, the Senate has confirmed a record number of women and people of color to the federal bench Republicans have. Democrats' record on judicial confirmations beat. This is a sad part. This is what Mitch McConnell and Trump basically dedicated the 4 years of the Trump administration towards Republicans. Confirmed 234 of Trump's nominees to federal courts during his 4 years in office, and so far, the Democrat-controlled Senate has confirmed 216 under Biden's administration. What we're not done, Schumer said on the floor Tuesday, there are more judges to consider, and confirmed Schumer 5. To spend the rest of the week and the year confirming more judges, every judge confirmed in this lame duck session of Congress is one fewer vacancy Trump can fill. Come January. This is good stuff, folks. This is what Democrats should be doing, playing ruthlessly, using the Republicans' own words against them and forcing them to confirm these judges, or rather forcing the confirmations through. Even if Republicans don't want it, say no, screw you. This is what you did. We're going to play this game the same damn way that you do. And if you don't like it, deal with it, because we have the power now. Because we know when you all take power in January, you're going to do whatever the hell you want. So this idea that we should play by asymmetric rules and standards is categorically absurd, setting aside the fact that Democrats have never sunk to the depths that Republicans have done, like, fake elector schemes and insurrections and things of that nature. So I am very pleased that President Biden and Chuck Schumer are doing this, and Republicans are very upset about it, and I love it. I love it. So sad that we've seen very little of this fire. I mean, we've seen some of it. Let's be clear. I'm not going to smack talk. All the Senate Democrats, again, a lot was accomplished under the Biden administration. We're actually going to do some videos to that effect, discussing the landmark Keystone legislation from the Biden administration, which wouldn't have been possible without the Democratic majority in the Senate. So it's not all bad, but we need the fire. We need the intensity. We need people like Schumer and Dick Durbin to actually step up and say, no, we're not going to break the law, but we are going to play the game ruthlessly. We are going to play the game like you do. One of the things that I mentioned during my interview with Sheldon Whitehouse, who's one of my favorite senators from Rhode Island, one of my favorite senators, he's also representing Rhode Island, is, I would love to see like Sheldon Whitehouse as the Senate Judiciary Chairman, not Dick Durbin, because Whitehouse knows that Democrats are going to have to roll up their sleeves and throw some proverbial elbows, play the game, roughly the way that Republicans do. Durbin doesn't get that Durbin is the king of sternly worded letters and not really leveraging his majority. And when he does, when he is finally forced to, usually at the last possible second. So, if we ever retake the Senate majority, which, probably not going to be in 2022, maybe not even in 2028. It's going to be really, really tough. I hope that Democrats will learn from this and say, you know what? We're going to start playing the game. Like Republicans, we're going to play ruthlessly. And we need to make them understand that if that's the standard that they're setting, they may not like it because they're finally going to go up against opponents who will play by the same standard and match their energy. As long as Republicans feel they can do whatever the hell they want with impunity. And Democrats will observe the political process with, what they call Marquis of Queensberry rules, where they fight with one hand tied behind their back. Republicans are only incentivized to continue doing what they do if they realize, it doesn't matter what terrain we pick. We're up against an opponent who will play the game like us. Then it may finally trigger an epiphany for Republicans like, you know what? We might as well just fight a fair fight and take our chances, as opposed to, getting down in the mud with an opponent who's finally willing to do so as well. Food for thought. But Donald Trump is publicly panicking. That's the silver lining here. And the small victory is that Republicans can't really stop the Democrats. So we got to take these small victories and silver linings when they appear. In the meantime, if you guys want to help boost this video and you enjoy, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments or just say hi. Thank you for your support. And until next time, I'll see you soon.